Welcome to the Ready, Set, Rise podcast conversations to inspire, entertain, and elevate. The podcast idea came from my love for conversations. As an MC and content creator, I've always had a front row seat of people's story, whether it's artists, entrepreneurs, or everyday folks doing extraordinary things. And I realized those conversations shouldn't just stay backstage or at events. They deserve to be shared with a wider audience. That's where I got the idea of Ready, Set, Rise, and that's where it was born. I wanted a platform to inspire, entertain, and elevate, but also to show real human stories in a way that felt authentic. And in order to start off in a way it felt authentic, I wanted to share more about me. That's why the very first episode is going to be me being interviewed. I know it's a first, and whenever I thought about who would be the one to interview me, who knows me best, who would be able to just flow with conversations, it's my friend who is sitting right here looking very handsome. He is a politician, he is an activist, and my very good friend, Richard S. David. Hello, Richard.
Rose, happy August.
Happy August, and we're feeling red and green. And I'm nervous, by the way.
Well, I'm really excited to get to do this with you. And probably for the first time, you're in the other seat. And
Yeah,
so, Rose, if you weren't doing this interview right now, what would you be doing?
I would be hanging out with my mom and my hubby because I'm off today, or brainstorming about my next project. I'm always on the go. But yeah, I would have been just leisurely, not in front of the camera, but like in sweats and just hanging out.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Sweats in Florida?
It's, that's a good point. I still have a lot of my clothes from New York, and I do wear it in the house. There's a lot of AC, and someone the other day told me, he's like, "Hey, you need to get some clothes for Florida." And I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah, I'm always because my dog Prince, he climbs up on me, and I always have to wear leg.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, got to protect my legs.
I like sweats everywhere I go. And you're wearing this beautiful red. A lot of folks know that you're from Trinidad.
Mhm.
If you had to pick between doubles or aloo pie, which one would you pick?
Well, red is my favorite color, and since we were doing this interview, I wanted to wear red. But I am a doubles girl any day, anytime over aloo pie. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, no aloo pie with chana. Forget that. I will take five doubles, eat it in one sitting over aloo pie. And I used to like it with just tamarind sauce, but I'll go everything on it.
Okay.
Mhm.
And if you had to pick between Christmas or Carnival, which one are you picking?
So I would pick this time around Carnival because in 2024, James and I went to Trinidad to surprise my family for Christmas. So we spent a Trini Christmas, which was a lot of fun. My
Oh,
sister-in-law cooked curry duck on a fireside. And while she was cooking, I sipped on the cold beer, but it would be Carnival this time around. I will choose. Hmm.
mix it up a little bit. I like that.
Yes.
The One of the things that really stand out about you, and I know that this can sometimes add a bit of pressure. You always look stunning, and I assume your viewers want to know what's your favorite makeup brand, what's your routine, what do you go to?
Yes. So, something that people probably never knew about me is that I was associated with a non-toxic skincare company, which sort of is a good thing and a bad thing because I learned so much there where it was instilled in me to go a more of a non-toxic route. So the more popular brands may have toxic ingredients, and I stay away from it as much as I can. So the brand I'm loving right now. It's 100% vegan and cruelty free. It's called Pacifica. And they have skincare, they have also makeup, and I'm wearing some of their products right now. And it's linked in my Amazon storefront. So it's called Pacifica.
Wow. Okay, so that's the secret. You
um,
know, I listened to
uh-huh.
you from so long ago when you were even on the radio. And I remember you did an episode about deodorant and the levels of toxicity in those and how it can seep into your bloodstream from your armpits. And so I've just every time, it's summer now and when I'm vacationing, I'm conscious about that and I make better choices as a result of listening to you.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. And I hope you chose a non-toxic deodorant too.
I do. I don't know the brand though.
That's okay. We don't have to talk about the brand as long as it's non-toxic. But Pacifica is my makeup brand. I'm still searching for a foundation that I love. Right now I'm using the Armani. It's like a luminous foundation. However, that has a lot of toxic in it, but toxins in it. But I'm still searching for. So if anyone knows a foundation they recommend that's non-toxic, let me know.
Drop the links in the comments
Drop
for all.
the links. Yes.
So, Rose, people know you as a professional MC. They knew you as a real estate agent. You're a social media influencer. For the people that don't really know you that well, what would you want them to know about you?
So that's such a great question. To my core, I love connecting with people and creating meaningful conversations. Although I'm on stage and I'm speaking to an audience, my first love is radio. I love being on radio, and I also love interviewing people. That is, if I can do that every single day, I'll start off my day with a radio show and then interviews. Also, I'm very proud to be Trinbagonian. I always want to showcase my culture wherever I go. And on a more personal level, in our home, we avoid seed oils, and I do my best for my products to be non toxic, and I encourage everyone to do so. And one thing about my culture is I grew up in Trinidad listening to a lot of Hindi music because that's what they play on the radio station. But coming on to Bacchanal Radio, which I'm sure you're familiar with, that allowed me to fall in love with the chutney soca, the soca music. So that's another thing. Maybe when people see me posting a lot about Hindi music, I grew up at a young age falling in love with Hindi music, but Bacchanal Radio allowed me to fall in love with soca and chutney. So yeah, there you have it.
I am the same way. I really like to I actually listen to bhajans, and although I'm Muslim, I listen to bhajans and a lot of Hindi music. But I know that you're a proud Trinbagonian, and one thing that your viewers may not know is Rose led the effort with other people to co-name a street in Richmond Hill, Queens, after Trinidad and Tobago. And really, it's a testament to the love of your own country.
Yeah, Richard, and thank you. You were that person who spearheaded that street naming for us, and I was a part of the committee, and I stayed until the very end. And I was also selected to MC along with BJ, and
Yes.
it was a special moment being there and still having that street name up on Liberty Avenue 131 and to be a part of the naming. It's something I'll always remember. And thank you for giving me that opportunity to be a part of that um, process because we know there's a lot of legalities that come with it. And we stayed until the very end. We're like, we're getting it no matter what. And we did.
And you made your mark in New York and we missed you.
Mm.
And we continue to miss all the places that you used to show up in. But now you're in Florida. So how has your life changed and what's married life like for your day to day?
So moving to Florida was a divine intervention. I did not wake up one day and say I'm moving to Florida. As a matter of fact, James and I, we looked at one home that I fell in love with on Long Island. It was in a double end private street, and we looked at it. Our intentions were to live in New York. However, I came to Florida on an emergency, and I spent a week, and I fell in love, and I told him I am moving. And when I moved, I was too busy. I was planning for the wedding, looking at venues. I was really overwhelmed. And the difference between New York is it was fast paced for me. Here in Florida, it was more of a slow down and learning to balance now a household and family life. And, people would say, what about the weather? The weather is just one thing, Richard. I love everything about Florida. Hey, if it's the weather, drink water, dress better, stay in the AC. And Florida was it. I gave everything I was supposed to give to New York, but Florida now is where I'm meant to be.
It's an amazing adventure, and I want you to move back here. But while you're enjoying Florida, allegedly, um,
Well, you can visit me anytime, anytime.
I might have to take you up on that. I like Fort Lauderdale. So here you are. In addition to moving to Florida, you're starting this whole new venture.
Hmm.
And let's talk a little bit more about your shift into this career of being a creator and an influencer.
Hmm.
Who is the most famous person you've interviewed in this career?
So I've interviewed a lot of famous people. I mean, the IFA Awards alone was like 30, 40 stars. They just kept coming in. Salman Khan, Katrina Kaif, um, all one-on-one with Alia Bhatt. But personally, I would say when I had that person in the room all to myself was Priyanka Chopra, Jonas. That's the most famous person I had a one-on-one interview with. And
Both of them, Priyanka and her husband.
it was Priyanka Chopra Jonas. That's what the name she goes by.
Okay,
So
got
she was in town doing all day interviews for The Sky is Pink, that movie. So yeah, it was. I had so the interview was Tuesday, and I got the call on Sunday, prepped the questions, bought an outfit Monday, and went to the interview on Tuesday. And I remember 3 months after that interview, every time someone would see me when I go to an event in New York, it wouldn't be "How are you, Rose?" How was Priyanka? It was like, how was Priyanka? That was such a big deal. I didn't realize what a big deal it was until I saw the reaction. It was just another opportunity for me, and I took it. I'm always hustling, and I don't think about it like, oh my gosh, this is something I need to do for my resume. I needed to do this for me. But after I saw the reaction, then I realized, okay, this was huge. Another big interview I'm very proud of is Kes. He is someone who is very humble. And for our interview in Manhattan in his music studio, he showed up alone. You would think these stars would have like this big entourage. He was there alone, and he was kind, he was friendly, he was very open. And back to Priyanka, she had her team, of course. So it was in a hotel room, and she had, right before I entered, she had her hair and makeup artist fixing her, and it was just a bunch of people, a huge big entourage. And her dog Diana was in the other room, who I saw. She posted a lot about Diana in her Instagram, on her Instagram, and I saw Diana. But yeah.
it's pretty amazing. I remember seeing your interview of Priyanka, and you owned it. That was, I also, it was when she was rising in the United States, but for us who knew her in Bollywood, she was a huge star, and she still is this huge star.
Oh,
Um,
she's
see you own that interview was
really.
powerful in your own right. I think one of the challenges that I would have is being authentic in this space.
Mhm.
When you're an influencer and you're on social media like you are all the time, how do you balance being authentic? And how do you make sure that you come across to your viewers in the way that they are able to connect with you?
Sure. That's such a great question. For me, being real is everything. I must say though, whenever I post a selfie, I use a filter, and that's not too authentic. That's something I do for me, but everything else that I post about is real, is who I am. And in that way, I can connect with people on certain different levels. And I don't strive to be perfect, and I believe that sort of keeps me grounded. Where I find the pressure of it is having to create content all the time. And in ways where lately I've been letting down my guard a little bit. Like on TikTok, I've been showcasing, certain things. Look at us make macaroni pie with my mom. Look at me bake something. And this is me. This is who I am. And I always think about the little girl that's looking on, the young gentleman that's looking on. How can they feel being themselves? And the filter part, it's only for the selfies, but every other, like this interview, there's no filter. It's who I am. And I've always been someone who's genuine. And I you can't fake being genuine. People could see that. And I think you could sense that within seconds having a conversation with someone if this person is being genuine or not. And it's all in the gut instincts, and people see that it is Rose and this is who she is. And that's why I get that constant support, whether it's someone who's been following me for years or someone who just came across me because of the algorithm on social media. And they're like, okay, we like this girl. She's real. She's someone who is genuinely herself.
And just doing this interview, for example, we're learning so much about you, about your use of non-toxic makeup and other products, and this new life that you're starting in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it adds to the authenticity. I mean, her name is Rose, and she's literally wearing roses. The and so you've mentioned some of the challenges you face, and here you are embarking on this new format of your interviewing. What are some of the challenges that you face as an influencer?
So, one of the biggest challenges I've faced is dealing with negative comments from people I've never met. So, back then, when I was producing a lot of videos, the more you put out, the more higher percentage of ratio of comments you'll be getting. And I would wonder, okay, what is this person saying now? Notification, new comment, what are they saying? And I understand when you're in the public eye, criticism is inevitable. And I've learned to rise above that, reminding myself my true purpose. And one of the comments I would constantly get is about my accent. And people don't like the way I speak. But it's the people who never took the time to know who I am. I started speaking the way I spoke because I was doing professional voiceovers. I'm on the radio. I'm an MC, and I get paid to do professional voiceovers. So I took a lot of college classes of speaking and writing, and I feel like if that's the comment you have to leave, I feel sorry for you because there's so much more to a person than just saying, why do you speak that way? I shouldn't have an accent. I shouldn't speak proper. And I came to America to improve, to be better, and get opportunities I would have probably never gotten in my home country. And I'm proud of who I am, and I'm very confident in who I am. So now when I see a comment, I'm like, oh, okay. So negative comments is one of my biggest challenges.
Rose, thank you for being vulnerable and opening up a little bit there. I didn't expect you to talk about an accent, and dealing with criticism from strangers is horrible because they can say the worst things. But I think that you showing this degree of vulnerability and being open to that, we have all dealt with those challenges of quote unquote speaking properly, right? But I'm so proud of you. As we wrap up,
Mhm.
I want to ask you one last question. Is there a famous Indo-Caribbean person that you want to interview, but you have not interviewed as yet?
Yes, there's quite a few, but I'm gonna pick my girl, Nicki Minaj, because
Okay.
she puts Trinbagonians on the map, and I love how she's herself. And it would be amazing to connect with her and speak with someone who paved the way for our culture internationally. I would love to interview her. Someone make that happen. Nicki Minaj for sure. Rihanna, I would love to interview and just connect with these girls and let them know how proud I am. Get to hear what's on their mind. And Nicki Minaj is from Southside, and I grew up in Southside, Queens.
Definitely. Nikki, if you're watching this, drop a comment. Rose would love to interview you. And can I be in the audience? I just want.
Yeah, this is going to be, I don't like to fly, but I'll fly to wherever she is, LA, wherever she is, and do this interview. But it would for sure Nicki Minaj.
I can't wait for your new show, Rose. This has been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more. And I can't wait to see you. I'm going to take you up on that offer to come down to Florida and hang out.
Anytime, it's this sunshine state, tongue twister. And Richard, thank you for being that friend who's been so supportive, been by my side. And from the moment I reached out to you to do this interview, you said yes. You're someone who have always helped me. You helped me sign up for college. You even give a speech at our wedding, and it was such a wonderful speech. Richard, thank you for being who you are. You always have my support, and I appreciate you.
Keep up the incredible work. I'm going to be here for you. Take
Thank
care.
Thank you. Ready, set, rise. Thank you guys for looking.